And sometimes if achar doesn't like you, people can smell it out of your pores if you've been having too much of it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Tumi. If you are into cooking, trying out new ingredients and products, this is definitely going to be one of your favorite channels on YouTube. So today I'm going to be showing you how to preserve your chilies. I really love chilies, but I always I mean the thing is, like, a chili, it's so big. So now if you're gonna buy 3, you can't even weigh it. It's not even gonna give you much weight so that you can actually pay for it. So you need to always just buy a chunk of it. So I have mentioned in one of my videos, the one 10 things to do, 10 things to do while we're still on the 21-day lockdown. So if you check in there, if you look at that video, you will see that I have mentioned preserving your perishable goods and all of that. So I'm going to show you how to preserve your chilies. And then I've got here, I just want to show you actually like how much chilies I have here. So I've got here my 5 kg of carrots. I'm going to do this later, but now this is what I'm going to show you. So yeah, let's get on to it. So you are definitely, if you're working with chilies, you definitely need to use gloves, because if you don't, your fingers will burn throughout the night, throughout the day, and every time when you scratch your nose or your eyes, it can cause some irritation. So because I don't have gloves, this is the plastic that the chilies came in. And okay, this is the whole bunch that I actually bought, and it's 9 rand 84 cents. And I can tell you something, if I was in Durban, I was gonna pay much cheaper for this. I was probably just gonna pay like 5 rand or 6 rand for them, but not 10 rand. So different provinces, different prices. Bear that in mind when you travel. So you do need a glove. There is your chilies, and then olive oil, and then a container that you're gonna put everything in. I always like to reuse my glass container, so I'm gonna be using this one here. So if you want your chilies to be super hot, you can definitely include the pips, but if you don't, then you can scrape out the pips. Well, for me, it's like, what's the point of having chilies if I'm gonna take the pips out? So I don't take the pips out, I include everything. And be careful with the hand that doesn't have the glove on, that it doesn't get you don't touch a lot of chilies with it, because then otherwise, what's the point of having gloves? It is super cloudy here, guys. Super cloudy. I'm battling to just find the right angle so that there's a little bit of light. Now try to chop it as finely as you can. Now when I choose chilies, I always try to choose the thickest ones. I don't like, you see this one, I don't like thin ones like this. There's even ones that are thinner, but I always try to go for the thickest ones, because sometimes if you don't have time, like you can't make time to actually do the chopping, the longer you leave them, the more they're gonna, so the longer you leave them, the more they're gonna just reduce in size, because they're gonna get a little bit dry. Right now they're fresh, that's why they're so plumped up. And I don't know, I prefer green chilies over red chilies. I just don't find red chilies to be hot at all. They're very mild. I don't know even if they're mild. I mean, I don't find them, I can't, sometimes I put them in and then I can't even tell that they're there. So I don't know if it's my palate or not, but I grew up not eating chilies, and I have ulcers, so I didn't have hot things for the longest time. Like spicy food for the longest time, I didn't have that until my ulcers were no longer an issue for me. Like now I can really eat whatever I feel like eating. I don't suffer from ulcers anymore. So there is the chilies. I'm just gonna add the olive oil because I don't want it to brown. Now don't be stingy with the oil, because if it's not in oil, it's gonna brown, and you don't want it to go off either. I'm just not sure if you're supposed to use, like if it's okay to use regular oil, but I'm sure it's okay. Well, I'm not sure, I don't know. So if anybody knows if it's okay to use regular oil, please let us know in the comment section down below. So yeah, there goes. So I'm just gonna finish the rest of this. I'm just looking that it's getting a little bit too dark, so yeah, after this I'm gonna be doing the carrots. So my day is very young. I'm not finishing now anytime soon, and it's starting to rain as well, so there's a lot going on. So I want to show you guys, I almost didn't show you because so I want to show you guys what eventually happened with the carrots. Remember I mentioned the carrots. So here I'm making my juliennes, and I'm not using a machine or anything. I just use my hands to cut. I do it manually basically. So I just put a carrot there. Obviously the sizes are not going to be all equal and perfect, but then I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for different Okay, this one is huge actually. I'm just looking for different shapes of a carrot so that when I cook I can actually use different shapes for different dishes that I'm gonna make. So what I normally do, I just take a carrot, and then the end of it, the thick part of it, I cut those for the stew. I still have about 10 carrots from that 5 kg, and those ones I'm gonna grate for when I make chakalaka. Not only chakalaka, but I mean mostly chakalaka. It's actually quite easy, guys, to do this, but if you are looking for something that's perfect, then maybe this might not be the technique that you will use. This is the technique that I use because it works for me. It gives me what I want, and I don't need to use a machine or anything. I don't need to buy a machine. So throughout the month I just keep different plastics. So as you can see, this is a bread plastic. I've put in here the chunks. You see how big. Let me just take this. I just put in here the chunks of carrots. This I'm going to use for the stew. So I'm going to close this up, and then I've used this plastic over here. This one is going to be for the juliennes. It's a lot. It's actually quite a lot, because reason being I like this shape when it comes to carrots. And then the last shape that I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a normal, I'm going to grate them for I'll probably not do it today. I'm just gonna wash them, the remainder of the carrots. I'm gonna wash them and leave them to dry, and then I will do them tomorrow. So I like this because it's nice and big. So I normally like to kind of like separate it in the plastic as well, so that even when it freezes, it's easier for me to just take a part of it, not like take all of it out, but just take parts of it out. So even when I put it here, I like to separate it. You see, there's one batch, there's a different one, and there's a third one. And then I'm just gonna place it like this in the fridge, and then when I want to cook, I'll just unroll this, and then I will take the top part, and then I'll take this one, and then I'll take this one. If maybe I'm having lots of people over, and then I'm gonna take this one. This is for when I'm alone, and this is when I have maybe 1 or 2 people over. So this is the finished product of the actual chili. This is coming out of the fridge, guys. As you are aware, I did it yesterday. It was a little bit dark by the time I finished. So these are all the chilies that I did. They are like, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see the oil. It's not like, you can see the oil there at the bottom. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my achar. So achar is got like the mangoes. Okay, so achar, it's like, when you go to Durban, they think that you're talking about prickled. They say prickled mangoes. No, it's not the same, guys. It's definitely not the same. And I don't like that achar of theirs. It always tastes raw, like the mango is raw, like it was never, I don't know, because I mean, it's not cooked mangoes, but it's not ripe mangoes either. It's like almost ripe, but theirs is like raw. It doesn't taste nice. So I try to take most of the oil out. I normally put it in the, store it in the fridge. So now I'm gonna scoop a little bit of this in here. So achar can be very messy, guys. Achar can be extremely messy, so I always store mine in a plastic just so that the oil doesn't spill over to other things in the fridge. So I'm just, the one that I bought, I always buy the original flavor, monate achar, because that's the one I kind of grew up eating and I just enjoy that one. Oh, for sure, yeah, the for sure mango achar. So yeah, there's a South African, proudly South African product, but it's not eaten in all the provinces. Like for example, Eastern Cape, KZN, they don't really know what achar is, and it is something that is made really well in Mpumalanga because they got those mangoes and everything. So this is enough. So normally what I do, I put this, then I let it sit for like 3 days. Excuse me. I let it sit for like 3 days, and then after 3 days I come and check if the heat level is enough. So I would have also, like, if I had enough garlic, I would have also put in garlic in here, but I don't have enough because of the lockdown. So the garlic that I have, I will just save it for, cooking, because I really don't want to go outside. So I'm just gonna leave this for like 3 days before I even eat it. And the thing about achar, it should always be covered in oil, because if parts of it is not covered in oil, it can actually go off. Some people actually call this the oil. They say, oh, give me the achar gravy. Hey, kopa gravy nyana moya achar. No, it's not gravy, guys. So you see, you will find something like this. This is actually from the mango tree. It's a stalk from the mango tree. I don't want it to be too hot, but I still want it to have a little bit of heat, you know what I mean? So you see, there is the second one and the fourth one. And in Western Cape, hey, they don't know this achar. They eat that cabbage achar. That one, I don't like it. I don't like that veggie achar. I mean, this is also like, it's just, this is completely vegan, guys. It's vegan, it's vegetarian, it's all of those things. Because people who make it, they just use normal oil like sunflower oil and whatnot. So so nice, so nice. But achar is not for everyone, and sometimes if achar doesn't like you, people can smell it out of your pores if you've been having too much of it. So in here I've added half was like olive oil, and then another half was the leftover canola oil that I had. I don't think it's gonna cause any issues. So yeah, this is gonna actually keep the chilies from getting spoiled, and you can put this in your salads, or you know, I've been around people who just eat chilies exactly as they are, without even adding anything, chewing the thing as if it's like a celery stick. So yeah, but I like to have it like this because then I'm gonna have it for a little bit longer, stored away in the fridge. And then the carrots, they are going into the freezer as well as this one, and then I will take them out as I'm using them. This is just going into the fridge. Yeah. So oh my god, now I feel like having the achar, guys. Hey achar, ne? You can't stay away. It's just one of those things. Please like, comment and subscribe, and you can share this with your friends, your family, your mom, your sister, your brother. Yeah, and try this at home, guys, and tell me if it's working for you, or you prefer buying achar that is already made. So I will check in like 2 days how's the taste, and if I feel like I need it to be a little bit more spicy, I'll add more Pele Pele. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. So thanks for watching, and yeah, share, like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, thanks guys. Cheers.